Good afternoon. Welcome back to the second day of our annual podcasting for pause. My voice is hanging in there for now. We'll see how it does in a couple of hours and tomorrow. I don't know how good it'll be, but I have a good friend of mine with me, and I'm so glad that she's here. She has so much to talk about. Her name is Sara. Sara and I have known each other for a little while now, and she invited me to be one of her people on her company, which is MOMPOWERED, and I think that's so amazing. I want her to talk about it. We need to bring attention to this amazing group because she's amazing, and to have the resources that these ladies have is just it's a gift. She's a gift. And so I'm so glad that she's here with us today. Hello, my dear beautiful friend. How are you?
Hello, my dear beautiful friend. Thank you so much. No, you're like I blush every time you talk about me because I don't feel that what you do to me is also so important, and how you support people and encourage people, and just like I can't even say a contagious smile without smiling. And it's not just because the word smile, it's because I know how contagious you are and how much you make others smile. And so I adore you. I adore the puppies. I adore your daughter and your husband, and just like everything that you guys do. Even just it's I help moms and you help everybody.
That's why we work so well together.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so that's what I love about you're an amazing human.
Oh, thank you. I kind of feel like I'm the creep keeper right now. Like, you know.
No.
I do. I feel like the creep keeper. We were just talking before we went on live that I don't understand. Like, you can't eat. I don't understand that. You can't eat before midnight the night of your surgery. Okay, well, people come in for emergency surgery all the time and they don't wait, but whatever, it's fine. I'm not trying to eat, but I need my tea. Don't take my tea away. It's not pretty. So Wednesday night was the last time I had anything to eat. Go in for surgery, get this tobacco finished, and enjoy my new like 7-inch scar that I didn't have a million of already, and all of the lovely stitches that come with. And I can't eat any food. Like, I try to swallow it and it's stuck. It's because of stupid innovation tube that they put in you. And I can't stand it. I was awake for part of it. And then I've never taken a single payment or anything for any surgery ever, not even the craniofacial or the shoulder or the amputation. And I got on the scale this morning. I think my husband thought I saw a ghost or something, because I'll bleep it, but I was like, holy M and F and all the other alphabet letters. And he's like, what's wrong, babe? And I was like, how in the Sam shit did I gain 10 pounds from surgery? Like, how is that possible? I'm a frequent flyer with my surgeon. This surgeon alone has done, this was number 18. And I said, I should get a punch card. I should get something that I want. Like, how about you take a little bit off of here, and a little bit off of there, tighten it up a little bit. He's like, I'm a limb and arm recovery specialist. And I'm like, well, you could start with the arms, right? Or you've taken half of it.
You can just pull the fat out from under the arm.
Just hook me up a little bit. And my husband's like, well, you haven't eaten a lot. Well, go figure there, Sherlock. Thank you. Thank you for that revolution. And I'm drinking crazy, but everything tastes like razor blades. It's horrible. It's awful. And I'm like, I don't want to eat a meal and go up 11 pounds. I don't understand. It's horrible. It's horrible. But I keep telling people, if I'm sitting here 36 hours post-op, there's no reason why somebody can't donate a cup of coffee to help us with these kids and these babies.
Absolutely. Yes. I can cheers to that. Yeah. I saw your Facebook post that you had gone ahead and gone with the surgery, because we had talked about beforehand. And I was like, what? Like, how are you going to be sitting? Like, I'm sure you have the most comfortable chair in your life, but no,
but I did find they have this like padded gel thing for amputated arms, and you put it on your desk chair and it helps keep it elevated, especially after surgery.
Yeah.
And then I have under my desk, I have one of those feet things that you can do your calf muscles on while you're sitting there. And then I have a back padding thing for my back, and I'm holding a pillow to keep elevated so it doesn't swell any more than it already has. And no, I'm sitting in the lap of luxury.
Yeah. Because of our setup, I'm recording from our bedroom. This is a fake back to, which I'm sure you can tell with like the things, but I have my computer on a dinner tray so I can keep my foot elevated because of my injury, and keeping, making sure. I'm gonna actually post on Facebook about that. Like, we as moms and Instagram and Pinterest have made it look like, we have to have all of our together.
Yes.
And our world's got to look perfect. And I'm going to go and post after this picture where you can see stuff all over my bedroom floor, and keeping it real, because us as moms need to know that there are other moms, that our house isn't a museum.
Right. It is
our house is to be lived in.
Yes.
And that's like, and Pinterest and social media have made it look like we need to have these perfect kitchens and all the appliances are put away. And I can't, like, that stresses me out when I see a kitchen because I'm thinking of like,
do you not cook? Do you eat out 3 times a day?
But not even that, the like extra 3 to 7 minutes it takes you to take it out and put it away at the end of the day, which is 3 to 7 more minutes I could be enjoying with my little ones.
Right.
And if you're doing that over a couple days, I mean, that over a week, that can add up to an hour. And I want that hour with my girls, especially because I work in the social services department. So like I have a regular job and my business. And so like my time with my family is precious.
Absolutely it is. Now, how's your foot doing, by the way?
It's slowly recovering. I feel like I finally got a really good physical therapist, and that I guess that's part of like my stuff behind MOMPOWERED too, is like advocating for yourself. And I just knew the first physical therapist I had wasn't really listening. And I was willing to go to another one and try another one out. And she's been amazing. The place where she's at, I couldn't see her one day and I saw somebody else. And I, again, had to advocate for myself, because they just look at the diagnosis and go, oh, this is what you should be able to do. And it's like, no, it's not a typical ankle injury. Like I'm not at that point yet, but one day I will be. And overdid it yesterday at physical therapy. But you don't know sometimes until, I'm sure you know that. Like there's times we overdo it, and then today's a rest day. And I get to spend it with you.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm excited. Like I said, I can't say it contagious. Like even just seeing and thinking about you, the joy that comes to my face because of how much you help people. And just that, like you and your whole family, even Faith and her stuff that you guys do together with her. And you guys are amazing.
Thank you. And it brings so much happiness when we're able to do these things. And yesterday, my surgery was Friday, and Thursday. And yesterday I told my husband, I said, I'm going to the grocery store. He's like, no, you're not. I said, oh, I am. I won't take a risk. I never take unnecessary risk. And I went through the whole line. I'm like, no medication, no pain meds, no nothing. I am good to go. I was cleared after 24 hours, and it's been 24 hours and 15 minutes. I'm running to the damn grocery store. I will be back, and you can unload whatever I choose to pick up. That's just what's going to happen, because I have to go. Like I came home from surgery, I started working, and he's like, you need to just take a break. Okay, I'm going to the grocery store. So he's like, are you sure that's okay? Yeah. And so the doctor gave me this spling-like thing that I was just aware if I'm out. So yeah, whatever. And I came back, and my husband met me at the SUV, and he was like, why do you look so mad? And I was like, people, when I say this, I say there's so many words I won't use because I think they're horrible, but stupid people make my head hurt. And he goes, what happened? And he said, I wanted to go with you. You just wanted that alone time for a minute. And I said, no, I didn't want it. I needed it. And I said, I was getting heavy cream, and how you hold the door. And so I was holding it with my knee to hold it open so I could reach in with my one hand and get the heavy cream, right? And this lady, I use that term very loosely, comes up behind me and grabs the door and then slams it on my 24-hour post-op arm nub amputation device, whatever you want to call it. And I just looked at her and I was like, did you need something in here I can hand you? And she's like, I said, you just hit my arm where my stitches are. And she goes, well, then why are you even out of the house? You shouldn't be here. And I said, well, your cheery disposition and wonderful personality makes you just a fine thing to have my day start. Thanks. And she was like, you shouldn't be out like that. That's disgusting. Why would you want people to see you look like that? You know, and I really wanted to say, what do you think people think of you when you open your mouth? I mean, it's it's just so, and I stay very, like I have kids that stare and I'm like, oh, I'm Captain Hook's sister. And they think that's hilarious. I had a little girl say, Mom, 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 Mom. She's looking all around. She goes, this really sweet lady lost her arm. Can I go help her find it in the store? And I was like, if you can find my arm in a store, buy anything you want. Because she was like 4 and she kept looking. And I said, oh, are you looking at my drawings? And she goes, did you lose it? And then I said, I did. And she goes, she's looking around both ways. She goes, can I help you find it? And I was like, if you could, I'm telling you what, I'd be a really happy person. But people are so just like, and then it goes down to the kids, and the kids are seeing that is okay behavior. It's learned behavior. It's not okay. That's why we need people like you who have mom power. And I want you to tell everybody about it. And it needs to be recognized and utilized. And that's who and what you are all about. So please teach us on your mom power.
Yeah. So my business name is Motherhood Imperfect. And inside of Motherhood Imperfect, 3 times a year, we do summits. And inside these summits, we bring moms together so that they can find a community of like-minded moms so that they can join arms together, because we weren't supposed to do motherhood alone,
right,
at all. And when we talk about building our village and our community, we're really good at talking about it, but we don't always follow through with it. And so inside of motherhood, what I love about all the speakers that I bring on are actually really good at reaching out to our guests and connecting with them. And outside of MOMPOWERED, we've had speakers that have gone on to do other events together. We've had guests that have grown their business and become guests on or speakers on MOMPOWERED. Like, that was a big joy for me this year. Is on our very first MOMPOWERED, we had Stephanie join us as a guest, and she's grown her business so much that she then became a speaker. Like, the transformation stuff that I get to help other moms with, and that's like the most important thing to me, is helping other moms and supporting other moms. The money is the byproduct. Right. Like, anything that I can do to support you and help you grow as a mom, as a business owner, as a woman,
right?
As a woman outside of motherhood. Because one of my favorite shirts, I also have an apparel company, and one of my favorite shirts says something along the lines of like, who you were before you were a mom matters, and before mom matters is in a different color. Because once we become moms, we almost take on this like whole identity and throw a bunch of who Sara is away. Yep. But she's still there. She still wants to be the crafty person. She still wants to be the advocate, though her advocate stuff might change a little bit because we're having to advocate for our kids, right, and our mental health at the moment. But we're still that person. We still love doing those things. And we take those things, like those hats off, and they get dusty, and we're like, oh, it's got so much dust on it. I don't know if I can use it. I promise you, if you go and pick that hat up, it might take some time to repolish your skills, but you can again.
Yes, absolutely can again.
Completely can again. A quick story I'll share that like I'm going through right now is I used to be I'm severely dyslexic. I was that kid in 92 when ADA came along that my parents fought for to get services, had an IEP all throughout high school, in college, still in my master's program, and I'm still using services because of it. Here comes along my girls. My oldest is dyslexic. My youngest is high functioning autistic. I literally have the skin. That's a whole nother story about how crazy it is. But I'm having to advocate for them. And it's so crazy because I was like, I had people over the years when I became a mom, these 6 years before I had to put these hats back on, they were like, tell me what to do. I know you used to do this stuff. And I was like, it's like you become a mom and some of those like filing cabinets get stuck. is like the best way to put it. And like, you're sitting there and you're pulling on it and you're pulling on it and you're pulling on it, and it won't open. And finally, you as a mom need to open that filing cabinet. So you do whatever it takes to go and pull that stuff out, or to finally open that drawer again. And that's where I'm at with like advocating for my girls when it comes to their IEPs and their 504s. And it's so rewarding. And then it gets me back like energized in maternal mental health, because we suck as a nation talking about it. You don't just have to have depression to have postpartum mental health issues.
Right. Right.
And we scream from the top of the roofs, PPD, postpartum depression, PPD, postpartum depression, postpartum depression. I didn't have that. And so I felt so alone for almost 24 months until I heard the term PMAD, perinatal mood and anxiety disorder. And I was like, there's other moms out there like me. There's other people. This is a thing. And so now, like, the cool thing about being rejuvenated with like my girls' IEP and the 504 and speaking up for them is it's like rejuvenated me. Like I've always talked about it, but it's given me like this extra passion again to scream. And like I said, I'm in social services, and every time I talk to a new mom or I talk to a woman that's pregnant, I let them know it's okay to ask for help, and you don't have to have depression to have postpartum issues, and explain to them about PMAD. And that's how we build community.
Right. Absolutely. What made you start the motherhood project anyway? What made it come to fruition?
Because of my postpartum, because so when I was 16 weeks pregnant, I moved to a town that I had basically never lived in before. It's my husband's hometown. And I was like, oh, this will be cool. Like, but we moved back to California near Orange. So I'm in LA County. I grew up in Orange County, which is just the county south of us. And I was like, dude, my friends are only like 45 minutes away. People will still come. They came when she was little bitty. And then we've got these lives. And none of them were moms. And so they didn't know how to support. And what I also didn't do is I wasn't vocal enough about what I did need support for. Because there's that like stigma and shame that we have around it, rather than like, okay, so Jamie said, reach out if you need something. Why not actually reach out to her and just be like, offer, hey, I need some help. Can I actually take you up on that offer? And yeah, we know there's going to be some people that are going to be like, oh, somebody's actually asking me, and I've asked all these years, and I really don't want to. And so you're going to get some of those, and that's okay. Because most of us, like most people that are in my world, we're also in business. And so we know that like we need those no's. But if you keep asking, you're going to find your Victorias. You're going to find, I've got a Danielle. You're going to find your people that are willing to reach out and support you. And when you say, hey, can you go do this for me because I got a troll right now? They're going to be like, not only am I coming, but I'm calling my friend, and we're all going to go and take care of your troll for you.
Yes, absolutely.
And
well, you have over 5,000 people listening to you right now. So I know that's just on this one platform right now. So you got to tell everybody, why do they want to join Mom Power? I was honored that you asked me to be a speaker, and it was amazing. And hopefully you'll let me come do it again, because it was so much fun. And it was great. Yes. It was empowering. It really was. So you have the floor. Tell people who you are, where you go, how to get a hold of you, that they should donate for this beautiful.
Absolutely donate. I know it's not behind me, but it's absolutely go donate. The link is in the description, right? Go donate. You can find me on Instagram at motherhood_imperfect. I'm online at motherhoodimperfect.com. You can even find me on Facebook at Sara L. Smith, and we can connect there because my DMs are always opened.
Yes.
And applications for our next Mom Powered events are going to be opening up next week. So if you want to be a speaker on Mom Powered 2024 or any of our events, we're going to have one the end of January. Is going to be our first one of next year. Our applications are going to be opening up next week. Super excited about that. So you can always just on Facebook or Instagram or any of my platforms, just send me a DM Mom Powered, and I'll be sure to get you the link to the applications once they are live and available, because it's a super fun event. And if you're a mom and you're in business and whether you're just starting out, have that dream and that passion, that's where mine like even started. Is I didn't know what I want. I knew I was called to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't fully know what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I was an event planner when I worked corporate before I took time off to be a mom.
Right.
And I loved putting on events and the community that you can build. Like, I can't even explain if you've never been to like a large conference,
Right.
a women's conference. It's like the community that's built inside of Mom Powered, and when we do our events online, is like going to those massive conferences that are held at convention centers, because the community and the like cheery rah-rah, you almost want
camaraderie.
Yeah, the camaraderie. I'm like, you almost want to puke, because it's like, how is she so excited?
Right.
But I can't explain it. Once I start talking about Mom Powered and community and building it, like it lights me up, because I didn't have that when my girls were first born. I didn't have that when I first started my business. And we're not meant to do it alone. The village model is supposed to be our model, and we scream it from the rooftops, but we don't really live it. And so at Mom Powered, we do. We do live it, because we do know how important it is.
Well, when the time comes that you're ready to put out there, when it's time to do it, not only I would love to reapply to speak again.
You'll be a speaker. I'm just saying that. You don't even have to apply. We know you're going to be.
Okay. Okay. Then I will help promote it on all of our platforms as well, because it's an amazing event. And it's, it takes a lot to get these things put in order. I mean, this is a 3-day thing, and I've been working on it for the longest time, and it takes a lot to do it. And the Mom Power was inviting. It was a learning experience. You made some great lifelong connections, but it was also humor and joy and laughter, sharing stories and just kicking back and laughing. Like, it's so important. And it goes back to that contagious smile. You have to go and have a good look on it. I mean, if anybody has the right to be like hating life, it would be me. And I've never taken that mentality. I've never, yes, in the beginning, when I had all my fresh scars from my ex, I would say, this is hideous. My biological parents told me I look like Freddy Krueger and the Elephant Man had a baby. And I got to the point where I tattooed for the first time. Look at this. Look. We got the same. That I got to the point where
mine's coffee though.
Oh, I have unsweet tea. But it's tea time someone. So I literally started putting tattoos on because I didn't want to see the stab marks and the stabbing scars and the surgical scars. And my tattoos are our journey that we've gone through with this. And then I got to the mindset with, I'm not going to give him that power. I'm not going to let him make me a bitter and evil and unhappy person. And those scars, Faith actually told me this, and she had to be like 8 or 9. She goes, Mom, that's your warrior. That's your uniform. That's your shield. And you're wearing that because you're a warrior and you kicked butt. And that's how many times he tried and he failed. And that was so, like, not only very impressive, but it came from an 8 or 9-year-old, but the fact that, she's right. And these are how many times he tried and he failed. So people should be empowering themselves, because I hate the word victim. They're not a victim. They're a survivor. At the end of the day, the abuser is still a piece of crap, and he or she, whatever it is, is
Yeah.
a piece of crap, and they have their own insecurities. That doesn't give anybody the right to come home and put their hands on you in an unwarranted manner. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Or even, so we've talked about it. I'm a domestic violence survivor, but I wasn't physically.
Right.
They're not allowed to even say things to you or have people touch you in inappropriate ways.
Right.
Like that's abuse as well.
Mm-hmm.
The psychological, and I know yours said some awful things to you as well. And the psychological abuse is insane and crazy. And that's where, like, and I can't say it's like worse than the physical abuse, because it's obvious, it's a different, like, and that's also why like MOMPOWERED so important to me, because I'm a domestic violence survivor. I have sibling abuse. I was bullied because of my, being dumb and stupid, but here I am, graduated with a 4.0 with my bachelor's. Like, and that university, I got zero help because I didn't still have an IEP. Now with my master's program, I'm finally able to get help again because I advocated for myself and had to go through all the testing all over again. But had I not been through that, and I'm sure you would probably kind of agree, I wouldn't be able to help people now.
I agree 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. My husband always tells everybody my wife is a double doctorate, and it's a piece of paper, and I'm not taking that away from anybody who is a doctor, of course, as well. But when I sit down with somebody, and anybody can go read a book and go to school and sit down with you and say, okay, tell me how that makes you feel or whatever. I'm not taking away from them, but I would rather be with someone who unfortunately understands and empathizes because they've been through it. So I don't wish that on anybody, but they understand it better. They know they're not going to read you the textbook reason for it, or, they get it. And that's why even when I'm working with kids that have seen domestic violence in the home, or they're starting to show symptoms that they're going to be aggressive, I just say, hi, I'm Miss Victoria. I don't say anything else because they don't want to talk to a doctor. They don't want any of that. And you have to resonate and get on their level. And I don't care how long I have to spend to get on their level, I will do it. But to have someone who's gone through it and understands, that's invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable to have someone like that can say, I get it. I've been there. I understand. It sucks that this is how we meet. I tell people all the time, I'm so sorry for the reason of how we met, but I love the fact that we met. And those relationships like ours are a lifetime. And it's so hard because you have, and I'm not taking this away from the other moms, but you have moms that are like, my nanny was busy today. I couldn't take Sally to soccer and Tommy to football and little Susie to dance class or whatever. I have no time for me. And I just look at them and said, I used to have 25 doctor's appointments. And if you want to get really critiquing, calendar has 365 days a year in it. And I've had over 100 surgeries. So let's think about that like every third day, if you want to get really technical, over the last several years that I've had that many surgeries. And so the fact that you have 3 kids that do participate in these sports and you're complaining, well, first of all, you've scheduled it. You're the one who scheduled for all of them to be done at this, and this. So that's on you. Sorry, but it is. And, you'll never have a more amazing group of individuals that support you and take you in than someone who's been in domestic violence or special needs, because we get it, we understand it, and we know it, and we know what it takes to get through it. It's a whole different game. It's a completely different element of life. We don't take one thing for granted. We don't take the first word. Like Faith wasn't supposed to talk. The first, time they move, the first anything, we don't take a second of it for granted. And they're the happiest of kids. They are so happy. They enjoy daily life. They don't try to, be who they're not, and they'll do anything in the world for you. And that's why I love what we do. And my husband loves what we do. And Faith is a rock star, and she's amazing. I mean, she is my light. And, Dad over here keeps talking about how, he's trying to show me something. What are you showing me? Numbers are going up and up. And but it's just you just don't take anything for granted for a moment, because you never know what's going to be. And I've said this so many times already, but a year ago I had 2 hands. Nobody would have guessed that I'd be sitting here today one-handed. It's so you don't know. And that's why we're trying to do this for these families, is let them have their forever best friend. The dog doesn't want anything but unconditional love, some tummy rubs, a couple treats, some playtime, but those are their best friends. They know that they have someone in their life that they can count on, that doesn't want to stick or poke or prod or test them in any way. It's just their best friend. And it makes such a huge difference. I don't care how old you are. If you're 2 months or 200, those dogs bring laughter and love into your life.
Yeah, so much. Yeah, my youngest daughter, the one that's high functioning autistic, has a cat. She's a cat person. Like, we have 3 huskies and she wants nothing to do with them, but her cat is her world. And it's so amazing what animals can do for kids, because I was caregiver for my grandfather, my husband's grandfather. So technically my grandfather-in-law. And she was 3. We moved into his house when I was 16 weeks pregnant. And both my girls have grown up knowing him in the house and having basically that trauma, because at 3 years old, they don't really understand why. Like, they knew grandpa was sick, but just gone. And we got Midnight, her all black cat, about a week or so after. And it was like divine timing, I guess, because we had been looking at getting it for her, like closer to her birthday, the end of June. And this is middle of May. So like a whole month earlier. And somebody had posted on a social media platform that there were these kittens that were 7 weeks old. And if somebody didn't come and get them, they were going to, and I was just like, no, like, and we got the run of the litter, and she's perfect for my family. Absolutely perfect, and gets along with my huskies, and my huskies get along with, like, and those are animals that like aren't supposed to get along, but they feel the love in our house.
Sarah, I thought you were going to say that the cat gets along with your husband.
Well, every once in a while she does stir his allergies up too. But it's the cutest thing watching the husky tail go back and forth, and every once in a while Midnight, because she's so playful, just coming up and playing these 2 animals that aren't supposed to be able to be friends. And if they grow up in the right environment,
right.
I have all black cat and an all white husky, and they're sitting there enjoying themselves and playing together.
Yeah. So tell everybody again where they can find you. I hope you'll tune in on the Facebook Live next. We have some amazing people coming on. It's a big deal. So not that you're not there with everybody else.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram at motherhood_imperfect. And there's also my website, motherhoodimperfect.com. You can find me on Facebook, Sara L. Smith. Everything, all my channels are always opened. DM me at any time.
And she means it.
Like Victoria, like if you're going through something and you need out, I had an exit plan. My abuser knew I was going to be leaving. Like, I was able to let him know, but it was like, because of finances, I was like, I'm sleeping on the couch for 3 months and then I'm exiting. And then about 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave, he had a rage moment and almost hit me, instead hit a poster and broke the glass in it and everything. And I had to get out. Luckily, I had a place to go. And but I know, had I not, I don't know, I would have probably been sleeping in my car. I was single and didn't have kids. And I think about it regularly. Like, I'm so blessed to have the most amazing husband that, like, I thought in my calendar today was at 12 o'clock my time, not 9 o'clock my time. And I had 35 minutes to get ready when I saw your message. And I sent him a message and I was like, I screwed up. And he like flings into action to help get like everything. And my girls, and I was like, I got a shower. And he's like, but you're online, like nobody can smell you. And I'm like, no, I need to shower.
It's about me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so blessed to have that now. But because of being a domestic violence survivor, there's still times in your head where it's like, I think, like, what would I have to do now? Like, one of my dogs is my service. Like, he's being trained to be my service dog. So it's not even like he's mine. Like he's one of my kids. Like what? And so I sit there and put myself in other people's shoes. And so there are people out there, if you're listening and you've got that secret phone that he doesn't know about, and you need to reach out to us on there, and you got to reach out and you're like, oh shoot, I got to send this message, but it might be 4 more days before I can respond. Well, it might be 4 more days before I can respond too. And if I don't respond when you turn it back on, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet for a multitude of reasons, and I'm working on getting better. But reach out to multiple. If it's an emergency, reach out to multiple people, because some of us, it might get in the other folder where we don't see it. And it's not that we don't want to help, but just keep reaching out.
Sarah, I can't thank you enough for being here with us. You're amazing. And I adore you. And we're going to have you come back here very soon. We're going to do roundtables.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
My best for your family.
And I can't wait for you to be on MOMPOWERED with us again next year. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you. We're going to promote it too before it comes
Yes.
out. Yes. So my best to your family. And again, thank you for participating.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon, sweetheart.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, husband.
Bye.